Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to talk about pension plans and how they are completely insolvent and that you are about to experience, I believe, in the near future being within 2 years, finding out that your pension plan is completely failed and it does not have enough money to pay you what you've been putting into it for years. All right. So due to little disclaimer, due to inflation, cardboard is getting thinner. So I have this cardboard. This is just a box that came in from Amazon, cut it up. Whew. All right, here we go. So first off, I want to go back to the $1.9 trillion plan that happened back in the spring, all right? In that plan, $86 billion in grants went to failing multi-employer pension plans. Okay, so those are grants. That's money. Here you go. We're going to give it to you, all right? None of that stuff had to do with, the facts that the schools shut down and the teachers were still getting paid even though they weren't making money. That has nothing to do with it. The pension plan is not the school, okay? The pension plan, teachers put into it, schools put into it, they should be humming right along, right? So then why would all of a sudden this event in the economy cause the pension plans all of a sudden be underfunded? Well, they weren't. They've been underfunded for a long time. They were failing plans intended to fail. And I understand that there's a lot of people that don't understand that, or they can't comprehend why that would be. But remember, wealthy people make money when things go bad. They make more money when things go bad than when things are good, okay? People that are just getting by, lower to upper middle class, they make money when things are good because they're invested in things like stocks and their 401ks, and they have that wealth effect. Their home, usually people's homes are their largest asset, and those rise in good times. So that's when they make money. Very wealthy people make lots of money when everything fails because they pick up those assets for pennies on the dollar, okay? So you have to ask yourself, first off, why, and we're gonna get to what you can do about this at the end, okay? Why would we need to give out $86 billion in the last package, all right? And I'm gonna also explain something that's happening in the current infrastructure plan. In that $86 billion, we funded more than 100 plans, which is 10% of the total. Okay, that's absolutely huge. But what's really scary is in that plan, there was also a bailout for a pension benefit guarantee corporation, this is a company that serves as a backstop, a company that manages money. In case of an emergency, a pension goes, hey, we're about to go belly up. They go, no problem. Here's some funding. We're going to figure this out. We're going to restructure what you have, and then we're going to get that money back. That's what they're there for, is a backstop. Well, as of this spring, they were nearly insolvent and they needed a bailout too. Imagine this company being the AIG of 2008. AIG is a massive insurance company that handled all these insurance bets on financial instruments. Like most of you understand them as derivatives. There's insurance policies pulled on these. Similar to, there was also insurance policies pulled on all these mortgages that were given out in the early 2000s, and they went completely upside down. And if the government wouldn't have bailed them out, we would have had institution after institution completely close their doors forever, gone, goodbye. Your bonds are worthless, just like what happened with Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers. So now that brings us to what's going on right now, okay? Right now in the current infrastructure bill. Okay, you think infrastructure, you think we're gonna build some roads, we're gonna make some jobs, right? No, that is not what's happening. There is right now around, I think it's $123 to $125 million that is earmarked to go to a California teacher's pension plan. Now, before everyone starts freaking out on California, I get it. But this is an example, all right? It's the same way everywhere. It's just the amount of teachers in California is more than the teachers in other states, okay? So let's just bury that one. Let's focus on real things, okay? Everybody's pension right now is underfunded. I know that's shocking to you, but 12 years ago when I started reading into pensions and how they work, and I started reading these books by authors that were foreseeing the future and saying there's no way these can suffice. There's not enough money in these plans. Once the baby boomers start retiring, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic to these plans. So what they're doing is they're stealthily bailing them out. They've been doing it for years, right? But now it's getting really bad. We're at a breakneck pace. Why? Because last year, there were a lot of people that decided the heck with this. I've got to stay home anyway. The world's getting nutty. I'm pulling the plug and I'm retiring. When I, could stay for another 3 years, 5 years, but I'm eligible, I'm out. I'll start my dream job or I'll start my dream, business. I am out. Well, what's happening is the amount of people that are retiring right now is even at a faster pace than what would have normally been projected had there not be some, let's say, catastrophic event all over the world, all right? So now we're gonna talk about what you can do, because there's always a silver lining to this, right? First off, you need to prepare like that money is not going to be there. And how do you do that? Well, one thing you need to do right now, and if you don't mind, I need to break this, please share these videos everywhere you can, because there's nobody that is not only telling you what is going on, but what you can do to avoid this right now. And then when you've avoided it, go, okay, this is what we're now gonna do with the little money we all have, and we're gonna go crush it, okay? So please share these videos. I think it's so valuable, so important, but thank you for that. So the one thing is, when you start to plan like you aren't gonna have a pension, your life completely changes. You decide, I'm not gonna take that vacation right now. I'll put it off. I'll take that money. I'm gonna go and store up something extra. I'm gonna have some cash sitting off to the side. Very, very few people in this world have over $500 in their checking account or their savings account. I'm telling you, I get it. There's gonna be some people that come into the comments and go, hey, I've got X amount, I got this amount. Hold your comments make them positive. Like, hey, I've been able to store up this much and this is how I did it. Use the time in those comment sections. There's some people, you're always gonna have those people, look at me, I'm not like all those tools. Yeah, I get it. You're super cool. But there's a lot of people that put these great comments in like, hey, I was one of those people, but then I started saving and look, I've got this much now. Anyone can do it. Encourage people in the comment section, okay? So that's one thing you do is save up cash. Decide not to go on the vacation this year. Decide, you know what? My car runs just fine. I don't need a new car. For heaven's sakes, do not lease a car. I mean, there is no good place to lease a car. And people tell me, well, you can write off 100% of it. Well, guess what? Tax laws changed. I can do that with buying a car too, in a lot of aspects when I have a business. So those are some things you could do. Another thing is do what rich people do. They own, and this isn't for financial advice from me. This is what I go to get from financial advisors. They go, a good portion, 10% of your portfolio should be allocated to precious metals like gold. If you're an insurance bet, it's a hedge against uncertainty in the markets, and that's what wealthy people do and banks do. Okay, so they have 10%. The percentages vary, but they have something of substance that if everything comes collapsing down, that should jump up in value as everything else is going down in value. And many times in history, a 10% allocation to precious metals like gold and silver, and I'll put a link below, is in the comment section, has proven as things are going down, the value of that rises and the portfolio stays pretty balanced. It's not like it has this catastrophic collapse. Another thing too that people aren't doing is, having the extra food and like a water filter. I've done a video on this water filter I've had for like 10 years and we absolutely love it. And it actually takes the fluoride out of the water, a ton of fluoride out of the water, which is a poison, right? And we've been using that instead of an RO system until we finally got an under the sink one. Anyway, don't want to get into that. But that's another thing, because this stuff is happening right now and people need to wake up to what's happening. Another thing, the last thing I'm gonna leave you with is get out of debt. Credit card debt is strangling. It's a chokehold. You are a debt slave if you have credit card debt that you can't pay off this month. So focus on it, get it paid off. The amount of money you're paying in interest is astronomical, okay? It is literally causing you to be a slave. And I say that to not insult you, but to wake you up and so that you see the light. And then once you get out of it, your head will be high. You will have so much less stress on your shoulders. It's so important, it's so vital. And all right, and the last thing I'm gonna say too, there's some relationships you need to get out of, toxic relationships. A lot of people, and I've been guilty of this so many times, we do things, we spend our money so we're impressing other people. We don't need to do that. If you have to feel that you have to impress these people over here that you hang out with, you probably shouldn't be hanging out with them because it's just not healthy. All right, so that's probably the last thing I want to leave you guys with. And again, it's not to hurt you, it's to build you up. It's to make you smile, to get that eye contact again. I know it sounds crazy like I'm going off on a tangent, but this day and age, people are so depressed, they're so sad, and they don't know which way is out, and they need a breath of fresh air. So start to realize this right now, that your pension plan isn't what you expect. And if you are planning on living off of a pension or Social Security, and we all know the Social Security is completely underfunded and it is going to fail, start to prepare now, and you will lead the greatest stress-free life you've ever had. All right, guys, with that being said, I thank you so much for joining. The Economic Ninja is out.